Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Harris. I'm the CEO of HeroWear, and at HeroWear, we design and manufacture exosuits to save the backs of industrial workers around the world. So a lot of you probably haven't seen an exosuit before, so this is what one looks like. Basically, the way this works is it goes on like a backpack. You attach the thigh sleeves to the upper thighs, and the functional part of this exosuit are these thick rubber bands that run along the back. So basically, as I lean forward or go down into a squat position, these bands are stretching along my back and acting like artificial back muscles. It takes 20 to 40% of the load off of the low back with every lift. So think about this not as a strength enhancer, but as an endurance enhancer for workers who have highly repetitive tasks. So our main use cases are first and foremost case pickers who are picking from pallet height often to another pallet height or onto a conveyor, or sustained leaning tasks, which you find more in manufacturing situations. So for example, a worker leaning into a car chassis. So we have been in the market since 2020 with this technology. This is our second generation technology called the Apex 2. We have over 200 paying clients. Here are a few of the clients that have talked about us publicly previously. And you can see both a combination of supply chain and logistics companies, heavy manufacturing, as well as we do a lot of work with defense, Army, Navy, Air Force, as well as friendly foreign militaries as well. But really what pulls all of these together is they have extremely hardworking team members who are at a high risk for back injury. And so our main value prop is we're taking the load off their back every time they lift, which means at the end of the day, when they use the Apex, they are less fatigued and they have less injury risk. What I came here to talk to you guys about today, though, is we had an idea that came up 4 or 5 months ago, which was, hey, if the workers are telling us they're less fatigued at the end of the day and that they feel better when they get home, normally we see a productivity decrease in the last 2 to 3 hours of a shift. If they're feeling better, do they end up picking a little bit more as well? And so what we did was we partnered up with an international grocery chain and did a productivity study with them. So we brought in 40 workers, and what we tracked was the first 4 weeks of this study. We looked at the cases picked per hour for the worker, and you can see it's about 203 picks per hour was the average. Then we went in and we did our intervention. And so this was our training, fitting of the exosuit. We pulled the guys off the line, taught them how to use it, and then over the course of the week, slowly ramped them up from about 2 hours a day all the way up until their full shift. As would be expected, as you're pulling them off the line, training them, we saw a decrease in productivity for that training week. And then over the next week or two, we can see their productivity was the same as baseline, and that's where the magic happens. So after a couple weeks, you get normalized to the technology, and it just becomes another piece of equipment. They're comfortable with it, and you can see their productivity rises substantially. We also broke this out into the low performers, medium performers, and high performers. And what was interesting there was the low performers actually saw that productivity jump immediately 1 week after training. Your highest performers were the one that took a little while to get back up there, but all of them ended about 8% higher than they began with the exosuit. Now, if you've got any safety folks in the room, first thing they always think is, okay, my people are picking more. Are they now going to be at more risk for injury? And so the way we got at this question was we did surveys with these workers. And so we provided them with surveys before we started and then at the end of the study. And so what you can see here on the far left is a perceived exertion score where the workers rank on a 1 to 10 level how hard their work is. We saw a 39% reduction across 31 workers in terms of how hard they thought work was, and we saw a 31% reduction in low back pain and discomfort. So this is truly a circumstance of where you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have workers that are healthier and happier and are more productive. So if you've never had the chance to try on an exosuit, we have a booth actually about 2 rows back here. We've got a number of exosuits. Be happy to throw them on you guys and give you a chance to feel it for yourself. And maybe there's a role for some of your team members to utilize this type of technology as well. Thank you very much. Again, Mark Harris with HeroWear. We manufacture and design exosuits for industrial workers. Thank you.